Day 2 of the Canada crisis, and Justin Trudeau finds himself in hot water. Yesterday, the Canadian Prime Minister toned down his remarks. He was hoping for some backup from his friends in the West, but it did not come. So Trudeau tempered his criticism of India, and even that has not helped. His problems, in fact, are compounding. The Canadian opposition is demanding proof of Indian interference. Hindus in Canada are being threatened, and India has issued a travel advisory. Let's get you the latest. Last night, Justin Trudeau faced the spotlight again, in the Canadian Parliament and in front of the press. Everyone asked the same question. If India ordered a hit on the Khalistani terrorist, where is the proof? And what was Trudeau's response? He said, we are working with our allies. Listen to this.
Over the course of the summer, we have been working closely with our intelligence agencies who are moving forward in their analysis. We wanted to make sure that we had solid grounding in understanding what was going on in analysis and indeed in facts. We wanted to make sure we were taking the time to talk with our allies, to share what we knew.
And who are these allies? They're called the Five Eyes. This is an intelligence sharing arrangement. The Five Eyes, as the name suggests, it has 5 members: Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom and the United States. Reports say Canada raised Niger's death with all of these people, these countries rather, all the Five Eyes. And they did this just before the G20 summit. Apparently, Trudeau wanted them to publicly condemn the killing. But it was a tough sell. The other Five Eye members took a more cautious approach. They've expressed concern, but they've refused to condemn India or the killing of Niger. Even Canada's neighbor and closest ally, the United States. Off the record, Canada claims that the US is helping them. Let me quote from what they've said. We are working with the US very closely. That's what Canada is saying. But Washington's version and tone is very different from Canada's. The US sees this as Canada's internal matter. They say, finish the investigation first and then we'll weigh in. And at this point, it would be unusual for America to stand with Canada. That's what the message from Washington is. In other words, the US wants to see the proof first. Canada's opposition has made the same demand. Show the proof. The main opposition leader is this man, Pierre Poilievre. And he says Trudeau has not provided any evidence. He's just given a statement. And what's his advice to Justin Trudeau? Come clean with the facts. That's what Poilievre has said. And this is Trudeau's biggest challenge now. He has made a grave allegation, but presented no evidence. So can he make the charges stick? What is the status of the investigation at this point? Here's what we know. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was killed on the 18th of June this year. He was designated a terrorist by India in the year 2020. He was a Sikh separatist campaigning for Khalistan, and this Khalistan movement has a very violent history in India. It led to the death of a sitting prime minister. The movement has been quashed in India, but its supporters are being given a free rein in Canada. They're calling for a separate state, a state to be carved out of India's Punjab. Nijjar was a prominent face of this movement. Earlier this year, he was shot outside a Gurdwara in Canada, in the province of British Columbia. Now that killing is being investigated by a local homicide investigation team. They're looking for 3 suspects in this case, and as of yesterday, they had not found them. The investigators say they want help. They want the people to track down the shooters. And that does not sound like a very solid lead. Unless Trudeau knows more than the investigators, unless Canadian intelligence is sitting on some secret information, we don't know that right now. But Trudeau's claims have acted like a dog whistle. They've put Hindus in Canada on target. A pro-Khalistan group has threatened them. This group is called Sikhs for Justice, SFJ. Again, this is a sanctioned group in India. It is said that Nijjar was working closely with this group. And they're now threatening Hindus in Canada, asking them to leave the country. Provocative videos like this one are being spread on social media. They feature this man, Gurpatwant Pannu, a member of the SFJ, Sikhs for Justice. A few days ago, he led a rally in Canada. He was inciting the crowd against the Indian leadership, making open threats. And now the same man is threatening Hindus in Canada. Has he faced any action so far? None. The Canadian Prime Minister tends to defend such Khalistani threats as freedom of expression. So don't hold your breath for action against them. Meanwhile, India is concerned about the safety of its people. New Delhi believes the security of Indians in Canada is at risk. So they've issued a travel advisory. Indian citizens in Canada have been asked to register themselves with Indian missions and to exercise high degree of caution. In fact, I have a copy of the advisory with me. This is what it says, and I'm quoting. Recently, threats have particularly targeted Indian diplomats and sections of the Indian community who oppose the anti-India agenda. Indian nationals are therefore advised to avoid travelling to regions and potential venues in Canada that have seen such incidents. Last night, Canada too changed its travel advisory for India, but it made no sweeping changes. What they did was just an update on the health section of their advisory, but New Delhi is not mincing its words. Yesterday, we told you that Justin Trudeau is playing with fire. I'm sure he's realizing it now.